Well, the U.S. Secretary of State Rex Tillerson is reportedly dragging his feet on sending a high-level delegation to support U.S. President Donald Trump's daughter Ivanka Trump during her India visit later this month. The move is being seen as a result of friction between Tillerson and the White House. Ivanka Trump, who is also the advisor to the United States President, is visiting India at the invitation of Prime Minister Narendra Modi for the Global Entrepreneurship Summit that is to be held at Hyderabad on the 28th of November. According to reports that have come in, Tillerson's move to not support Ivanka is not linked to his key project of reducing department's budget, but is very much to do with the fact that Ivanka Trump is leading the U.S. delegation this year. The former Secretary of State John Kerry and even former President Obama had attended the event multiple times, but this year the report further suggests that no one higher than the Deputy Assistant Secretary is allowed to participate in the annual event. So this is the latest round of friction between Rex Tillerson and Donald Trump that is playing out. Ivanka Trump is slated to visit India for the Global Entrepreneurship Summit later this month. She is expected to be in the city of Hyderabad in India. However, Rex Tillerson appears to be dragging his feet over this visit because of the friction that he has in his relationship with Donald Trump. Earlier, presidents of the United States had participated, but this time round, it is just a Deputy Assistant Secretary who's been allowed to take part in this visit. And to discuss more on this and what ramifications this is likely to have, we are joined in by our International Affairs correspondent, Ramesh Ramachandran. Ramesh, good morning to you. This is the latest bit of friction that we are getting to hear between Rex Tillerson and Donald Trump.
Good morning, Mohammed. Now, this has been reported by a section of the American media, and the interpretation is that this is another example of the so-called rift between Rex Tillerson and the White House headed by President Trump. Now, we know that the American sources are telling the media there that they would not be represented at the high level at the GES, or the Global Entrepreneurship Summit, to be held in Hyderabad this year. It's going to be a three-day event which Ms. Trump is going to attend and lead the American delegation. But that said, the sources are telling the American media that there's nothing got to do with the Tillerson's decision to cut down the State Department budget, and that this is a conscious decision to limit the scale of representation at the level of a Deputy Assistant Secretary and not anybody above that. But that said, Ms. Trump, for her part, has said that this signifies India's close partnership and strategic partnership with the U.S., and it'll keep the bilateral ties on an even keel. Remember, this is the 8th edition of the GES, and this time the theme of the summit would be women first and prosperity for all. And Ms. Trump herself will participate in two sessions, one on women's entrepreneurship and leadership, and the other innovation.
And also, do you think this is perhaps a reflection on Rex Tillerson not approving of the sort of diplomacy which perhaps Donald Trump intends to carry out? Ivanka Trump is his advisor. She's also his daughter, but not an elected representative. So is that something got to do with Rex Tillerson dragging his feet over this visit?
Well, Mohammed, one point worthy of mention here is that the Global Entrepreneurship Summit is one of those rare policies and programs started and introduced by the Obama administration, which has continued into the Trump administration. So it remains to be seen whether the Trump administration will persist with this format going forward. But for this year's summit, he has chosen to send his daughter, the senior advisor, to Hyderabad, and she for herself is very keen on the ties with India, and would also spend a couple of days seeing around the city of Hyderabad, and also spending time with other entrepreneurs visiting from other countries, from nearly 170 countries, including an all-women's delegation from Saudi Arabia, Afghanistan and Israel.
Right, Ramesh, thank you very much indeed for joining us on this broadcast and getting us all these inputs. We'll, of course, keep coming back to you as the visit unfolds. Of Ivanka Trump, who, remember, is going to be on an India visit on the invitation of Prime Minister Narendra Modi.